Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mariachis versus Grizzlies. I'm FlamboJambo, joined by the incredible Greg on cast. Um,
Hello.
we're gonna have a little bit of scuff cast today, but that's okay. Um, Greg, do you have any thoughts on either of these two teams before we start heading in? We will be on Ilios for the first map.
So my thoughts on these two teams are that I have met some of these people in real life and they were all very nice. So I think those people are nice and that's cool. And I also haven't met Nort Logic in real life, but he's also really nice to me all the time over the internet. So I think that guy's really cool.
That, you know what? That's pretty fair. So what I'll say from power rankings point of view, as well as my personal thoughts, going in, it does look like uh, the both teams are missing a player right now.
Yeah, I do notice there are no subs in the lobby at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like X Elemental is not here, as well as I'm not sure who the other player for the Mariachis are. However, what I will say is the Mariachis have picked up a lot of my personal big board players. I've been very high on Corey and Nort in particular. Again, playing kind of these off roles. And the Grizzlies have made some statements early into the season with a lot of trades, so we'll see how those may shape up. This is their first match for both these teams. It is a Tanuki Nadir.
Yeah, so one thing I noticed as well looking at that Grizzlies lineup is that outside of Met, who is, if anyone is confused, the streamer mode name of Rock Muncher, that is Met.
Correct.
But I believe, if I understand correctly, everyone other than Met on that team is a main support player.
Yes, that is correct. There are 4 main support players in Met, and of the main support players, they all want to play Lucio on top of that. So it's going to be.
I think 4 Lucios in a top 500 Sojourn could do a lot of work in most lobbies. So I think this is a good strategy for them. I like what they're cooking.
The unfortunate thing is they can't all 4 play Lucio in our lobbies.
Oh, Flambo. Okay, this might be less good of a strategy. We'll have to see how good those off rolls are from those main supports.
What I will say is both Trevin and EJ have shown really good flexibility in the past playing on some different roles. Again, Trevin Ball was really strong last season for the Astros. And EJ, I mean, legends remember JE. Okay, so that's all we need to say about EJ here in the lobby. But it is definitely a concern for, well, where it's a concern for the Grizzlies, it's kind of the opposite for the Mariachis, right? I think the thing with Mariachis is they have too much flexibility. Even I think while that is really helpful a lot of times, you can try some different comps if things aren't working. You can have people on really any role at any point, but sometimes there's a tough thing about that where you might struggle on one map and then immediately just change everything, right? And it could be a trap that a lot of teams can fall into. So
yeah, there's value to continuity.
Yes. If you change things too much, you'll never really have your bread and butter comp.
Now you say that, but I remember you cooking up some diabolical compositions last season for the Hyraxes. So, didn't you see me on Zarya was kind of Thanos. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we found a few things to fit the meta. But that being said, how are you feeling about some of these? I don't know if we'll see Nort stick on Moira. We do see the Lucio.
Look, I'm gonna be for real with you. I actually fuck with Moira. I don't think Moira's that bad of a pick, especially in a draft league setting like this. If you're a team that feels confident that you can control tempo, Moira's good.
No,
I'm not even trolling.
I
The
agree.
question for me is not the Moira pick. It's going to be how well can can Knave's Orisa control tempo and control space here? Because if they can control the tempo, the Moira could get a lot of value.
Yeah. We do see both teams opting to try to take control early here. The Grizzlies opting to try to play more for the point, as the Mariachis opting to set up hard in this cage here, as the Spear does.
Trevin in danger.
Yeah, Spear comes out. Suzu just a little bit late there from Hyper, so the DMAC comes out on Trevin, but Nort Logic is trade. Booney will find the pick on EJ. But
HP and Nuttier goes down.
Point should go here in favor of the Mariachis early, despite the first pick going in favor of the Grizzlies.
Yeah, and what I saw there that I really liked, and what that was, you know, Nort Logic and Booney, they were controlling this forward space on the high ground next to the cage, and that really forced awkward positioning for the back line of the Grizzlies. And when Trevin made his play, he was very isolated because of how much space they were controlling. Nort ended up getting traded for that, but it's a worthwhile trade.
Yeah, Corey already having this. Yeah, Corey already having this dead eye, pops it immediately. Will maybe find the echo. They're looking for it. They're looking for it, but no. Met is able to sustain everyone on the Grizzlies, able to stay alive. But Trevin going in deep. Yeah, trying to find Knave here. The duplicate comes out as well from Met, trying to continue this fight here. Knave will fall because of it. Everyone falling low though. Nuttier does get traded out. Trevin finding two though on this Diva pick. Maybe not only ball in the back pocket here for Trevin.
Yeah. A really good job creating that corral angle into the cage, being able to kind of ignore Corey on this really strong angle by just kind of brawling around the side and not giving him good sight lines. Really good control of that rotation. High Noon now will do some zoning here from EJ, but Trevin very low with the mech.
Yeah, will survive here, but the ults are still kind of in favor here. The Coalescence is used by Nort, trying to sustain around this point as Corey finds a nice pick on Met. The beat just a little bit too late from Nuttier. The better beat in response from Rue Lupinus. Everyone's staying nice and healthy. Trevin diving into the backline, trying to find Booney here, but is kept nice and healthy. Hyper commits the rush just to make sure this point lasts a little bit longer. Suzu is forced. EJ falling very, very low. Knave is in their face, trying to get this pick. But Rue, meanwhile, in the back line, trying to find Hyper as well. Nort will clean up that kill. Nuttier now flying back in. They find Knave off the back of this. Nort trying to get Trevin, but will force the bomb. Trevin's still able to just remech right away. Meanwhile, Met on this flank finds two, and the Corey has to Deadeye just to try to get this point finally and flip it, but they die. It'll be quickly a recap from the side of the Grizzlies.
Now, it's not the worst thing in the world because they had some control of the point. They got a little bit of progress out of that, but that's double support ult and the High Noon used for not that much point progress, but fortunately, Corey's been building these fast, so I wouldn't be shocked if we saw another Noon out of him, and Knave's gonna have the grav here. Gonna be difficult to contend with. Trevin's gotta be aware.
Yeah, we do see Knave posturing, trying to look for it. Booney does go in with the Death Blossom, but is quickly eaten up, and Suzu gets traded out. The duplicate comes out from Met as well. Falling very low, has to use one of those self-sustained bubbles, but instead Knave is the one having to back out. They have to go try to find this Mega, but the boop! Boop of the day by Rue Lupinus. They find the Echo. Met now out of the fight. Nort trying to sustain. Knows they're the only support alive. Knave still has that beat. If they can pressure down Trevin out of this fight, EJ has the Noon for in response to it comes out from both of them. Hyper's gotten the grab, but no one can kill them. The Vendetta comes in as well as the shot from EJ, but nothing is dying. EJ falls so low. Booney is in there. Hyper falls down as well. This fight's going in favor of the Mariachis. However, they have no DPS line. Nort's trying to keep Knave up. Knave is in the back line trying to find Trevin. Trevin will get demeched. The damage here from Nort is paying off here in this last fight, but it's 59% only. And it's every single fight now is last fight potential for these two teams.
Oh, yeah. Now, Flambo, you don't need DPS on the board when you've got a high charge Zarya. Knave showing why this character is so popular in Aurora every season. Like, just so much carry potential. If you've got a GM tank like Knave that you can put on this Zarya character, they can just do a lot of damage. You know, give your Zarya some resources and let her cook.
Yeah, we do see Coalescence online. As it does get forced out, the beat response from Nuttier. They're trying to keep everybody alive and healthy in this fight. Nuttier maybe getting a little bit deep there. Does fall to half HP, but it's kept nice and healthy. Hyper comes up close to this ult as Booty is the one who will fall instead. As now Trevin, trying to stay alive, has the bomb if they need it, but it's still staying nice and healthy. The Deadeye from Corey finds EJ, getting them out of the fight, but Met trades out that bomb now coming out. The point actually flips. It's not point in favor for the Grizzlies as Hyper's rush comes out, trying to keep everyone nice and healthy in this fight. They're trying to get more. The beat just in time from Rue will keep Nave alive as Booney's still fighting as well. Nave is trying to tick down these tanks. Will get Trevin out of the mech. Is Boop, but won't quite fall in, but Nave will fall as Trevin will get him. It looks like the Grizzlies with his early point control on Ilios.
Yeah, and the stalls maybe could have been kept up for a second longer there, but unlikely to have changed anything there. Very disadvantageous situation there with just the Lucio and the Venture with no cooldowns between them to continue stalling. Now, I think the Grizzlies showed some really good ability to maintain the point there. Their objective presence, getting that early flip, was a big key. You know, all of a sudden, the Mariachis are forced to respect that point pressure to a much greater extent, and I think that's a lot of why Nave ended up getting traded there.
Yeah.
But now Nave moving over to this Winston, and we're going to see a double hit scan look out of the Mariachis. This could be an interesting adaptation, and it's going to make Met's life on this Echo very difficult.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like the swap as much. I mean, I guess you're swapping over the Sojourn as well from Booney. So just a lot more consistent damage throughout these fights, trying to just poke out, like you said, Met out of the skybox here. As the engage comes through from Nave, trying to just take any semblance of space, but then instant re-engage from Trevin here gets so much space, and this should just be full point control established for the Grizzlies. Yeah, they're able to just go so aggressive. As now Corey in danger, getting pressured by Trevin. Booney as well on this side angle, just getting pestered so much by EJ and Met that something needs to change here. Nave goes in trying to be really aggressive on this dive, but you know, you have the double hit scan. You can't get anything off of that. The nade comes through from Rue, won't quite connect, but I don't know what they need to do here, Greg.
And this is the type of look where I do start questioning that Moira pick from the Nort logic. I defended it earlier because I do think Moira has a place if you can control tempo and play aggressively. But if you're going to play this Moira on a double hit scan look, you're not looking to play aggressive. You're not looking to make aggressive plays off of Moira's ability to manipulate tempo. So at that point, you're kind of playing this sustained game, and that's Moira's least favorite way to play.
Yeah. Big nade does come out. It is Suzu. Ignore it. As you're talking about them, does get traded out. Corey does find Met on the backside of it, though. EJ falling very, very low, but Booney is forced to slide out, try to stay alive. Nuttier falling low as well. EJ falling low, but Hyper doing such a good job of staying alive, healing up these players on their team. And Trevin just zoning everything. Nuttier does fall. The Suzu doesn't quite connect in time. Corey finds another. And now the coalescence from Nort. They force the bomb out from Trevin, but Trevin's just killed. And now flight goes straight to the point. You probably don't need the coal, but it sets up for a good rotation. So you know what? It's okay. And you force the bomb.
I mean, you've got enough other ultimates on board, and Coalescence is a cheap enough ult that I never hate using Coalescence on cooldown. Like, just rip it. You know what I mean?
I agree.
It's so cheap. Oh, Nort very low. Forced to fade very early. And this is kind of the problem with this Moira pick. Nort is getting that fade forced so early by the poke options from the Grizzlies. As the High Noon and the Rush are going to come out to create a ton of space here. Nave on an island.
Oh, okay. The boop does come out the Nano as well. The Noon in response, but EJ slept up. The OC comes out from Booney, but the beat is ults everywhere. And it looks like the Grizzlies are just taking full advantage of this completely chaotic fight. No ults now on the board, but Grav coming up soon.
That was a 4 ult fight from the Grizzlies. They won the fight, and that's good, but 4 ults means that as long as the Mariachis get a decent touch here, Nave's Grav should be the only ultimate available for this fight, and that could be really big.
Yeah, all eyes are on Nave here as they try to walk forward. Corey with an incredible first pick. They will find EJ. They shouldn't even need to use Grav anymore in this fight. Nort just putting in persistent damage. Hyper does fall. And Met gets killed, won't actually catch the wave respawn. So a late death from Met is a little bit tough for the team. As again, you still just have this grab cooking.
Yeah. So the follow-up for this grab needs to be better than the one from the previous point. Knave's one grab on the last point had no real follow-up look to it, and with this double hit scan look, it's very possible that that happens again if this grab goes in deep.
Yeah, did force a lot of DM out from Trevin. They're looking for it.
Yeah, it's hard to get a good grab past the diva when you're playing double hit scan. Like,
Yeah.
This is not going to be easy.
Big pressure on Booney though in the backline. They have to just the connects on two. EJ and Matt just both walk into it. Nave will keep fighting the front line, but the backline is completely traded out from both teams. It's now Nave and Corey against the world trying to hold on to this point. It's Corey versus Matt. The two DPS, well, I don't want to say like carries, but two main DPS players on both these teams now trying to brawl over this point. Corey trying to play up as far as possible, pressure them back as now ball in response from Nave just trying to get to point. They need this fight to win. It's last fight territory on this map. Corey has the Noon, Trevin has the bomb.
For the second straight point. And this Noon's going to create a lot of space. Could give the flip over to the Grizzlies. But good stalls from Booney.
Won't quite get it, but Booney goes down. The ultimate response from both these teams. Trevin still has the bomb if they need it. Nave is falling dangerously low, but the TP is forced out from Hyper. Nadir dies with beats! That's such a disastrous death! EJ now under so much pressure, but Hyper's there. Corey finds Matt. Meanwhile, the rush comes out, but there is no tank for the side of the Mariachis. Trevin falls so low as Nort will get that pick, but the bomb is there in response, and the Grizzlies will win the first map.
Now, I saw the vision there from the Mariachis. Booney went in deep, tries to counter the space created by the Noon. The Nano came out from Rulupinus, and Booney died in that quarter-second cast animation between when the Nano gets committed and you lose the ult, and when it actually applies. It has that travel time. It's not hit scanned, it's a projectile, and it came up there. Unfortunately, that very tiny window was too much time, and Booney went down. The Nano not used the first pick going the way of the Grizzlies, and that was a huge swing in favor of the Grizzlies. A nano boosted Venture in their backline might have been enough to swing that. So absolutely razor thin margins here.
Yeah, and again, I think maybe a bit of a shocker for the Mariachis. You know, I'm not sure if that was their map pick or not. No, it was okay. It was the map pick of the Grizzlies, so that does, you know, kind of say a little bit, right? And it wasn't necessarily a stomp by either side. I do think that the Grizzlies
These were 99-99 both points.
Yeah, I do wish I you know, and this isn't to be mean, because again I like Nort. Again, I had them as my fourth most valuable player on my Flambo's big board before the draft. Specifically for support. I think into what the Grizzlies were playing and what the Mariachis were trying to play, I'd rather have just seen Nort play the Juno, right? They are so comfortable on it. It provides more sustain. They can just live forever. Because I think a lot of times they were just forced to fade so early or playing so aggressive to just try to get on to, you know, do really any kind of pressure or to support Booney, who's trying to go in aggressively with these Zarya bubbles, right?
Yeah,
so,
like the Moira pick stops making a lot of sense when you stop playing comps that can play with meaningful tempo. When you come out on that Orisa Lucio rush comp, you know, it can make a lot of sense. But when you switch over to this Winston Ana look, it really stops being as effective. And when you're trying to play this Zarya Vendetta look that they played around with for a little while, or this Zarya double hit scan look that they were on for most of the second point, those comps tend to want to play a more patient game than Moira is comfortable with. And so that pick can leave a lot of value on the table at that point with how little poke potential she has and with how quickly her resource can end up diminished when she can't really suck anyone.
Right. So going to Circuit Royale, how do you feel about these two teams on Circuit?
How I feel about these two teams on Circuit is that we need to spec lock X Elemental.
I'm sure they will at some point. So X Elemental is the Grizzly player coming in.
Yeah.
So they are their tank rotational player. I think they have some comps with them in as well on some other roles, but they will have to play at least one map of tank. The player missing from Mariachis is Onshore Cook, who is also their tank rotational player. So a little bit interesting from both these sides. We do see Corey moving potentially over to the tank role.
Interesting.
I do know they like playing Sigma, so that doesn't surprise me too much. I am curious to know what Knave might be playing on DPS.
I've played some ranked with the Knave DPS before, and he has a nasty Reaper on him, and I believe also a pretty good May. And this can be a really good map for a May. So I wouldn't be shocked if Knave is moving over there to play that May. We've already seen Booney on the hit scan on the previous map, so we know that's something he's comfortable with. But I'm very interested to see if we can get some Sojourn gameplay out of Met here. Met, I've seen Met in my ranked games before, and that guy is kind of Thanos on Sojourn, you know? So I want to see Met on that Sojourn pick a little bit, just because I want validation for losing to him in ranked.
True. Yeah, yeah. We'll see what happens. I think Hyper is more the hit scan player though, if they're in. I think
I mean this is Circuit Royale though. This is
you just double
for double hits. If you're gonna double hit scan somewhere, you double hit scan here.
Yeah. Yeah, we do see Booney on the Sojourn. Nuttier is saying it's Weaver Wednesday. I love me some Weaver on Wednesday.
And sure enough, we are hovering that double hit scan look for the Grizzlies. But I don't get to watch Met play Sojourn. Met's hovering the Emre. That's fair though. Emre, I think Emre is very good right now. But this composition for the Mariachis is one that I think is really, really good. I think this comp makes a lot of sense. Iari has crazy poke potential. May Sigma Sojourn, I think, is really good on this map. The ability to control these lanes is so powerful.
Yeah, we do see the Sigma mirror. And the barrier immediately exploded from X Elemental. As Met takes a lot of damage. Corey, again, applying so much pressure. The rocks do come out, connects on Elemental, and Elemental sent back to the spawn room. Rue will find Hyper as well on the following pick. But, wow. Just so much damage coming out immediately from these players.
And this is going to be the challenge for X Elemental. This is going to be really hard. How do you swing into this Maycom? It is so potent at punishing any attempts to extend by this tank. As Hyper moves over to the Junkrat.
An interesting pick to be sure, but a nice rock from Elemental, but Hyper's the one who dies for it.
It's a huge pick while that's happening, though.
Yeah. A lot of pressure coming out still from both these teams. Both rocks are traded out. Elemental has to use the hands as well. So is Corey. Both Sigmas are just saying monkey see, monkey do right now as they're trying to get around this point. As Mental will get that first kill onto Nave. Booney is followed up here by Met. And now the Grizzlies finally able to walk forward, take some of this space under control. The hands are forced by Corey. They're still trying to walk as, again, this pressure here from Hyper going in. The rock won't quite connect. But again, you get a lot of space. You force out the ring as well from Nort. And there is a Blizzard on the board.
Yeah, the Blizzard could be absolutely huge here, but the Lifeweaver pull means that soloing Blizzard, a solo Blizzard onto the Sigma is not a viable option. And look at how powerful this angle is for Met.
Oh!
Already has a pick on the Rulupinus. Corey misses the ult.
Every single ult is being popped right now. The nice Weaver to keep everyone alive as Hyper will get the kill on Knave. The ult from Met won't quite connect. In fact, Met will get killed because of it. The tree from Nuttier to keep everyone nice and healthy, but the rock does force the slide here from Booney. Corey falling dangerously low, but Rue is there, has the ults to stay alive. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's Ult City. Booney pops the ult. Elemental will find Corey off the flux. The Kiri rush as well from EJ doesn't confirm. But the Grizzlies will get this first point captured.
Yeah, 4 ults for 4 trade ends up being the math there, so not too bad of a case scenario for either side. And if you are the Grizzlies, you're happy with that. You know, you had to use 4 ults for it, but you got past the first point of Circuit Royale, which can be a real challenge at times. I'm really liking what Met is doing on this Emre pick. I'm been really impressed with how much damage he's been able to put out consistently. Hyper, oh my goodness.
Yeah, big bomb. As the Lari, though, in response, finds 2, looking for more. Rue with a big pick in response to that tire. Hyper still half HP, trying to live, but, you know, you're down your tank right now, coming back slow. And X Elemental is just taking full advantage, pushing forward into the backline here. As Nort, falling dangerously low, doesn't get picked by Hyper. I don't know how that happened. But nice pickup. Wall comes out, connects on X Elemental. Good life grip from Nuttier to keep him nice and healthy. So again, both these teams now trying to walk forward, just down Nort in this engagement. Corey falling so low. Hyper falling low in response, though. X Elemental trying to stay nice and healthy. These nice shots coming through from Met, but not quite connecting. And now the ults are coming up. Corey's going to have a big flux here, and it's going to be up to the... But Nave finds Met. The tree just a little bit late again from Nuttier. This fight is getting so messy so quickly, as again, Corey trying to walk forward. They have the flux if they need it. The rock does connect, and here comes the flux. Finds 3! The life grip will keep one alive. The rock in response, but Hyper will get traded out here. Corey trying to walk very aggressive. The hands are used by X Elemental, but they will stay out of this fight. Corey trying to stay alive and getting punched by Nuttier, but the healing from Nort and Rue is just too strong.
Really good job by Corey, recognizing that ult tempo, built that flux so much faster than his counterpart, and just lets it rip, secure the fight win, reset the other team, and give the opportunity to your other 3 players who are all 80+% to their ults to, you know, build you up an extremely strong ult bank in this poke phase here.
Nice rock.
But there is another strong ult bank coming up on the opposite side. Both teams are going to have 4 ults into this fight.
Yeah, I'm looking at this Blizzard right now. The bomb comes out from Hyper as well as the Flux from Mental. The bomb connects on Rue. The Blizzard in response now coming out from Nave. Freezes up 2. The Kiriko comes in, Suzu's, but it's might be too little too late. The ult from Nord here to try to keep everyone nice and healthy, as Nave just able to left click. And Mental will get killed by that passive from the perk, and Met trying to find these kills, but the OC from Booney pumping in that damage, and it's just not here to sustain. And oh my god, these fights are scrappy.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like both teams are allowing each other to build up really big ult banks, which is leading to extremely swingy fights where both teams are just pressing Q. Oh, EJ's so low in this early fight. Puts out the Kitsune. Let's look at this Emre here. Can he get a good pick off this ult?
Hyper does find Mei off the back of it. Does force a few cooldowns out. Corey falls to half HP. Booney falling low as well. Met still trying to walk forward, get this pressure, as the grenade will actually find Booney. The rocks come through. They connect on X Elemental, but the Suzu's there to keep them nice and healthy from Hyper, or from EJ, excuse me. And looks like this will be second cap from the Grizzlies.
Yeah, a really nice ult coming out there. They were able to create so much space with the Kitsune Rush, and all these resources coming out off of that kite allows the, Emre ult, ultimately, the ult itself didn't find any kills, but, there just were no resources defensively left to stabilize anymore after that. And look at where this Emre is again. This is such an aggressive angle, forces the ice block early.
Ooh, big flux connects.
Elemental can't get life grip from there, bud.
Yeah, the tree, not quite enough there. There's a really good flux from Corey. Recognized that Elemental was in a little bit too deep. Couldn't get saved by their Life Weaver there. As again, looks like the Mariachis are definitely pressing on the gas a little bit. Know where they want to hold.
Who?
And we see the Reinhardt coming out.
Excuse me? And Nutty are going over to the Lucio to make this Reinhardt pick work. Strictly necessary, in my opinion. You just are not going to be able to close the gap against this high poke comp without a Lucio. Ult's coming out from Knave, stuffs the choke for a little while longer. Luminous is in a trap! No!
Rue was in a trap, but Mental just ran into the both Sojourn and Mayfreeze, so Mental will pay for it with their life as well. And again, these fights are so swingy. You have to use ults to win these fights from both these teams. It seems like there's just no neutral picks coming out, or they're always so even. Mental trying to set up for a big play here as we see Met and Hyper both have the ults. The Suzu's already forced from EJ. They're building up to this rush. As now Elemental going in with a pin. The rock doesn't quite connect from Corey. This is the opportunity. Mental swinging. Nort pops the ult. Gets everyone nice and healthy. As the May passive again does so much damage. Corey will be the one cleaning it up from here. Hyper goes in with a tire. Doesn't find anything. It's just EJ on the point, and there's 3 ults being chunked into him. And the Mariachis, despite letting it get so far, will hold really aggressively on this final point.
I don't think I've ever seen the cart stop this early into third point. That was an extremely aggressive hold from the Mariachis, and it worked amazingly for them. It's going to be really hard to stop the cart from moving this out through this space on your defense on the flip side, unless you choose to, frankly, play a low mobility tank like the Reinhardt, where he just doesn't have that kind of reach to extend. I do question that swap from X Elemental. I think the Sigma was working really well for them.
I think the idea was they just needed or wanted something to, break through that really oppressive chokehold that the Mariachis were holding. I am peeping the stats right now. There's a little bit of mitigation on Corey's part. But Elemental, again, I don't know if this was released in these scouting reports or anything, but Elemental is the most comfortable on the Reinhardt character. Sigma is a close number 2. So that is likely why they made that decision to swap over. But like you said, especially into the May and the...
Yeah, it's just so hard with how much poke was coming out and the May stuffing that choke. But ultimately, I mean, they still got well through second point. That is an extremely doable hold. And Hyper's been making the Junkrat pick on Circuit Royale, one that I found really questionable, look pretty decent.
You may have jinxed them.
Most on that team.
They did just force both Nade and Life Grip from their supports to survive Corey walking at them menacingly, but this is where I actually really favor the May on attack. It's going to be so easy to catch out Mental in some of these engages here with these May walls, as Corey falls so dangerously low, is in a trap, and does get killed by Met. So you trade out your tank for your Junkrat. You take that trade every day of the week, as now X Elemental pushing forward. We'll find the May, and Nort needs to be careful. They're pushed a little far up here. Can't get caught, as Met will find Rue on this back end of the engage. And Nort with the kind of tragic stagger there.
Yeah, Nort didn't catch that spawn wave, so it's going to be quite the delay here before the next fight coming out for the Mariachis. And Met is already getting dangerously close to that override protocol on the M-Ray. So this is going to come out really quickly, and there's not going to be defensive resources available with this Juno ERE comp to mitigate that.
Yeah, and that's why, again, I think you have to play so much up-tempo if you're the Mariachis. Again, you have the May to play around. You have to try to look for these aggressive walls. Deny that spacing from the Grizzlies, as now we see Met coming out with the ult, looking to try to find a pick, but they're just taking raw damage. Mental trades out Corey, though. So really good pick on the back end. You do trade, and the Blizzard comes out. This might be a death, but no, the Life Grip is there from Nuttier. I love Weaver. The Nano comes out as well. X-Melon pushing forward. They opt to use the ult. It connects on 2. They will get Rue. Booney will fall as well. Nort under more pressure too. Can they get Nort? Nort so low. Yes, EJ will pick it up, but EJ... Yeah, EJ gets traded. The Life Grip comes out over the wall. God,
that was a really big ult investment for the Grizzlies, and look at where they're playing still. They do not have space. They have to give a lot of space right now, and You know, they've only got the tree online. The tire will be there shortly, but there's 4 ults coming up for the Mariachis.
Yeah, it's kind of that same thing you were talking about. There is nothing in response for the Emerald. Well, there's nothing in response for this Flux. It's going to be up to X Elemental to hit a rock here. As Corey does fall very low, but so is Elemental. And again, that big wall we were talking about. Here comes out the Flux, but it only connects on the Kiri, who gets gripped. All the ults are popping now as Hyper comes through with a tire, finds 2! The Juno ult isn't enough to sustain again in this fight as Nort pressured immediately out. The Grizzlies walking forward. There's only a minute left to cap here. They just use ults as Nort gets rocked!
Rue Lupin is also in a lot of danger of staggering right now. Will go down and not catch the spawn wave.
Yeah, that's such a disaster stagger, and it's just Booney.
The Lifeweaver counter pick for the Sigma is providing unbelievable amounts of value. Corey is having a lot of trouble getting multiple people into these graphitic fluxes, and usually that's not a big deal. That's fine. Solo fluxing someone usually is good play, but not against the Lifeweaver.
Yeah, again, this is just raw value from the Weaver here, specifically on this map. They're honestly, Nuttier is doing so much here for the team. It's gonna be up to Booney here to see if they can also get some big picks here with this overclock, but they're immediately zoned out. They have to use their slide already, are falling so low. Knave is coming up with a blizzard as well as the overclock is popped. X Elemental is getting cooked. The blizzard in response, it's big. It freezes up 2. The life grip not quite enough to sustain. And the Mariachis holding on by the skin of their teeth as they keep pushing forward. Met will get traded out a really late death. And again, Knave, kind of put it into their pocket there. A really nice wall to separate X Elemental and building the blizzard to win that fight. And look how aggressive they're being. They know they have to win a bunch of fights to make back this space.
I really like this aggression here from the Mariachis, not giving anything for free. You're going to have to see ult commits to get this space back for the Grizzlies, and there is the Kitsune, but we should just be able to kite as the Mariachis. Oh, but a great Flux catches the kite.
Yeah, the Flux will get 2. The Flux in response from Corey, but the Suzu's there. It will just affect Nuttier, who will remain nice and healthy, as Rue will get picked. Corey might get picked as well. Elemental needs to be careful. Nice rock to sustain. And now you have 3 ults still. You only use the Rush and the Flux. So honestly, pretty good ult rotation setup.
Yeah, I mean, the Grizzlies using 2 ults to secure that fight. Good job recognizing, the disengage resources were out from the Rush. There's nothing left to get out of this Flux. So X Elemental. Oh my goodness, X Elemental's already dead. What?
Yeah, it's just a bunch of headshots. But Hyper finds 2 in the back line. But again, it's just going to be Corey in this front line. He's going to get so much space for nothing. Met and Nuttier have to try to be, superheroes here as Knave just goes in with a blizzard. The tree to try to keep everyone healthy, but the rock will come through and connects on Met. Nuttier and EJ are both frozen. It's just Nuttier Elemental's now back. The rock won't connect. And again, this fight just off the back of Elemental getting caught early. Neurologic finds Nuttier. It's just Mental on this payload and will die. And that should be it. I don't think that the Grizzlies are going to be able to come back and, defend this point with how aggressive the Mariachis are playing.
And, now Met there recognizing just how tough it is going to be to get back to this cart, stop this cap with how early this stop was, but gets killed out of that ult immediately. Now the rush is back to the point, but just not able to get there.
Yeah,
And that's the value of that insanely close hold on third coming in immediately. I want to have a quick aside, FlamboJambo.
40,000.
Knave just holding M1 on Nuttier next to Nuttier's tree and Nuttier's health bar just not going down. I don't think Nuttier was moving. I think the mage just couldn't do enough damage. It was really funny. That Lifeweaver pick, they didn't end up winning that map, but I was very impressed with Nuttier on the Lifeweaver.
Yeah, I was too. I do think, I don't know. I wish I could go back and watch and maybe chat can tell us, but I I don't know how Elemental died so early there, right? Like your whole team is alive. Realistically, you know you have Kiri, Lifeweaver. I don't know. There must have been like Nave must have hit like 4 headshots, like
Nah, I mean I've been there.
simultaneously.
This happened to me on my team's last match on Nepal. I was Sigma. I had hands. I was just getting shot at by the other team. I had all my defense. I had my shield up on one angle and just was being shot at on a
No,
second.
I'm
I was
not.
just like,
Sorry. Let
I
me
bet my Kiri's got me.
let.
I have totally been there. I understand how that happens.
No, let me.
Like
Yeah, let me.
sometimes you just think you just don't think you're taking as much damage as you are.
Yeah. Yeah, that's oh man, so unlucky, but it means we're not going to see a 3-0 at the end of the day. So that's always a positive.
Yeah.
Um
But it's all right with you. I think now would be a good time to throw it to a quick break.
yeah, of course.
Right.
All right, don't go anywhere. Mac break. Bye. All right, welcome back, everybody. As we're going to Atlas with Lucio and Cassidy band. I'm gonna have to solo cast just for a second here. But that's all right. We do see same lineups, it looks like, from both these teams. I think we might see the Reinhardt here from Elemental, or maybe even Domina, it would be my guess. But this is the map pick from the Grizzlies as Rue on Weaver. We'll see. Again, maybe it keeps its appearance up. Maybe they're impressed by what Nuttier was doing, but you can never take what's people are playing in Spawn too seriously, but you probably can take Vendetta Zarya seriously coming out of Spawn. My guess would be Booney is gonna play the Reaper character here, and I am just so smart and talented as TP does come out from Nave, favoring a little bit early positioning now for the side of Mariachis. But again, this Zarya Vendetta has been meta for so long, for a good reason. As the slam comes down, immediately gets the Juno so low. But Nort will survive. In fact, Nuttier is the one falling low off a nice off angle here from Nave. They will find Nuttier. EJ not quite able to keep them up as another re-engage from Met, but Booney just chunking in that damage, has the right to stay alive. Elemental trying to find these bubbles, stay alive as well, but Nave just has this off angle. We'll find Hyper as well. And this is all Mariachis all the way down in this fight as, again, these players trying to walk forward. Corey falls down to half HP. Nuttier, Nort doing a good job keeping them all alive as Corey will find Nuttier again in this side angle as, the team with 4 Lucio players not having Lucio is looking a little tough for them as Met trying to stay alive in this back line, but will get traded out. And again, the Mariachis not just pushing their advantage forward, finding these kills, looking for blood. Booney has a Wraith if they really need it, but Corey right now in the spawn door of the Grizzlies. And already has a grab almost built up as well as Hyper again, trying to look off and engage here. They have the bubbles. They're trying to look for anything, but it's so hard. You have to try to look for Rue or Nave, and they're playing so safe as, again, Nave just finds EJ. And now the grab comes out. Does find Met, and Met's just killed. Now that's 90% of your damage. Now Elemental will fall as well from Corey. A nice grab, to be sure. And now this should just be the full point capped already. And there just might need to be adjustments immediately because there is no ground being given from the side of the Mariachis.
Yeah, and I don't dislike anything about this composition for the Grizzlies. I think everything in here works really well in theory, but, I mean, sometimes you gotta recognize the difference between theory and reality as Nave hits this flank visor. That's one of those things that's like... Oh, great ult from Booney as well. That's one of those things where it's like, most coordinated teams don't play Soldier. They don't go for flank visors, but,
And a big stagger on Elemental,
these big plays is, so good to see.
Yeah, man, I think after this grab, we do see the swap from Rock Muncher, aka Matt, right? Elemental is close to this grab. I almost just want to see them just play their Reinhardt, right? Like, I know it's still going to be hard just to catch anything, in this backline, but if you're playing front to back into this Zarya, Corey's just looking so dominant into it right now. The rush does come through. They're trying to make the space, but Booney just has the Wraith. The ult and response as well from Rue is massive. It connects on so many members, but will stay nice and healthy. But Elemental needs to be careful. They're running into these Juno ults. The one in response from Nuttier, but Corey is traded. Both, Elemental actually does survive, but Nuttier is traded. EJ trying to keep everyone alive, but is falling low themselves. Booney on a teleport in will find a Hyper. And Nuttier now swapping to the Moira. But Rue finds 2. Looking for more. Gets solo grabbed. As now Met trying to clean up this fight. But it's still, somehow, the Mariachis win this fight.
And that late fight from the Grizzlies, it just didn't feel like there was focus. It didn't feel like there was an idea of how we're going to close this one out as things get scrappier. They had a great opening pick, but, Booney just runs down EJ like a freaking man on a mission. Unbelievable pressure onto your Kiriko. Creates awkward splits that Rue Lupinus is able to exploit expertly.
Yeah, now both these teams trying to posture. a lot of pressure coming out from Met here. They have the pulse bomb. I kind of need to see them get a big pick off of this, but Corey has been so good with these
Tracer's kind of
bubbles.
Thanos here, so like I am excited to see what he can accomplish with that one. Because I mean, the Met Tracer has been real scary, but Booney, good ult.
Yeah,
Only 5-1 though.
Ults are coming out around the point. The pulse bomb won't connect as Corey, in fact, finding more. Corey close to another grab, by the way, here in this fight. Still have HP. The point will go over to the Grizzlies at the start, but Knave jumping in that damage. Rue will, in fact, be the one who gets this kill. But Elemental, last one alive around this point. Nudger trying to find Knave, but the they will trade out. But I think losing your tank is a little tougher than the soldier. But any percentage is good percentage if you're the Grizzlies right now.
Trade on Booney though. I'll make it hard to set up aggressively. But
Roadhog.
this the ult economy, it is 2-0 right now, and FlamboJambo, the ult economy is in shambles.
Yeah.
We have a coalescence to pull this retake off with. Wait, where did Dave die?
A really nice pick from Met. Met just kind of one-clipped. A nice hook! Finds Corey, but the L'Oreal...
in so much danger.
They're taking a breather. They will still die, though. The Coalescence just a little bit too late, and now the Grab Flux combo... Or Grab... No, whatever, you know what I'm saying. Hyper just trying to do anything here. The TP Suzu will come out. Corey and Knave do get traded out, and this is a winnable fight for the Grizzlies. It's a must-win fight for the Grizzlies, as Met does die. 2v3 around this point. It's Hyper and EJ against the
situation.
world.
If Hyper goes down here, he's not going to be available for another team fight after this.
Yeah, they have to use all the cooldowns from Nuttier just to get to the point, but Booney still gets the kill. X Elemental is not here. They forced out the Wraith from Booney, but they have to touch. They use their entire breather just to get this touch and the Suzu. And I think that's it. The Pulse! The Pulse was massive! It's winnable. Booney goes down as well. Met is putting the team on their back on this point. It's just Corey and Knave as Elemental with another big hook, but the bubble is there. Knave falls down to half HP as Elemental trying to stay alive as much as they can. EJ pumping in his heals as Met finds 4 in just this fight. Can they make it 5? On to Corey. Hyper goes down. They need to find Corey. They have so much energy. They can't let them live as now the re-engage is coming through. Booney has the ult. They're just walking backline, force the Suzu. They have the bubbles while the hook doesn't connect, and here comes the Blossom to end the map! They find Elemental, they find Nuttier, they find EJ, and while Met is trying so hard to keep them in this fight, the Grizzlies, well, okay, it's not over yet, now it's over. The Grizzlies will go down 1-2 after a map that was not good for them at all.
I mean, we have to commend Met's performance. I mean, actual Thanos in the server, he was trying so hard. But unfortunately, it turns out Booney is also Thanos in the server and just doing spectacular things on the Reaper guy. And able to get Corey so much energy, which Corey had a crazy amount of damage in that lobby just because these Reaper engages are giving him so much energy, and then he's able to just hold M1, get a ton of great resources from Rue and Nort Logic, and just do infinity plus 10 damage. It was crazy.
Yeah, and I think that Lucio ban just kind of took a toll, I think, on the Grizzlies.
I mean, they banned 4 Grizzlies players with 1 character ban.
It's OP.
It's broken, dude. I mean, you know, even Trevin on the bench surely was demotivated knowing that his precious Lucio was unavailable.
Yeah, and again, it's one of those things.
Was Trevin not lockspec that whole time?
No, I don't. It's
who cares? I'm sure he didn't cheat.
It's the other team that's the host, so you know it's on them to. So.
What's it called? Nah, Trevin's a nice guy. I've met Trevin.
Yeah.
He's chill. I'm not. I don't think Trevin would like do anything untoward.
The Grizzlies taking ban, by the way, implies to me that they just are banning Zarya. Or something similar because they are getting very frustrated, it seems, with the comps or something that the Moritz, sorry, wrong team. I'm seeing MMR, and that's what I'm thinking. With something the Mariachis are doing, and this seems like this is my worrying aspect here. When you start taking bans, it usually means your team doesn't have a solution to something. So, we need to see the Grizzlies retake the tempo. I'd like to see them just pick a map they're maybe more comfortable with. I know this is their first match, right? So maybe they don't know that yet. But we will be going to Kings Row. And yeah, I would not be surprised. If I were the Grizzlies, I would ban May.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Knave May is really scary.
Well,
I think that's especially on a King's Row has some really oppressive chokes that can do a lot. The May pick is so powerful here.
Yeah, it's not just
taking that out of Knave's hands would be big.
Not just Knave's May, but Corey's May as well. Because if they ban the Zarya, Knave just moves to tank and will play Ramatra or Reinhardt or Diva or really anything, right? And if they ban the May and Knave does move over or stays on, DPS, well then you kind of know it's still gonna be the Zarya coming out at you, and then it just comes down to, okay, how are you going to handle this? But it takes away, okay, they banned the Zarya. I kind of said it before. When I said they're going to pick first ban, I kind of alluded. I think that's what they're going to do. It just feels like they don't have an answer. And I think we're going to see Knave move to tank, Corey move to DPS, and we're just going to see Corey May still just be so disruptive and cause so many issues for the Grizzlies. But, they did win map 1 when Knave was on tank. So, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see here.
Oops. I typed out May instead of Zarya because I am a dumb idiot baby. And the Kiriko ban.
It's going to be a Kiriko ban, not a Knave.
I
feel
like
that also makes a lot of sense for the backline of the Mariachis because they have two support players who are both very good at their heroes, but neither of them are really Kiriko players. Rue Lupinus has like a crazy Juno on them, and then Nort Logic also has a crazy Juno on him, but it's like neither of these players really are Kiriko mains as far as I'm aware, so taking that very useful, very versatile pick out of the hands of the Grizzlies makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and again, I mean, the Grizzlies have played Kiri just on every single map, right? And especially when you have and this is not a secret, right? This isn't, we're not trying to dig down or reveal anything, but when you have 4 players who mostly play Lucio, and then when you see them swapping over to flex support, most of them are playing Kiriko or Lifeweaver, and that's kind of like it. If you ban the Kiriko...
Flex support here?
Huh?
We're going Lifeweaver flex support?
Well, it's utility, it's more main support, but it has the capability.
He's got more healing. But
I wouldn't, but you get what I'm saying, right? It's like when they're not playing
the
Lucio,
non-Lucio options are limited. I do notice something very interesting here.
The chefs are in the kitchen.
We have a Met tank lineup. I did not know the Grizzlies had a Met tank lineup.
I'm excited to see the nuttier Torb or Junkrat. That's what this is telling me.
Junkrat is genuinely pretty good on Kings Row, and so is Torb. So I feel like both of those are actually pretty good options. I don't know what Trevin's DPS hero pool looks like. Do you?
No. I think they've played Cassidy.
Oh, yeah.
And then...
I did a quick profile check. Trevin's most played DPS this season is Pharah.
Oh.
Trevin is Diamond 3. Most played DPS is Pharah with 3 hours. So Trevin's got some hands on a pretty annoying pick that goes pretty well on King's Row.
I was gonna say I think Genji is might be. I mean, it might be the Pharah, but I remember them playing a little bit Genji. But
okay. Yeah, I mean, Genji is always a really useful pick, so there's never a bad time to be on Genji, just for the space creating potential of the character.
But I really have no. This does feel to me like Grizzlies are just throwing things at the wall and seeing what stick.
Hey, I get that, you know.
I get it too. I mean, this is week 1. Just try some things, see what works.
As we do see case scenario, you lose your week 1 match, and then you say, okay, you know, we've got plenty more weeks to go back to the drawing board and figure out what the game plan should be next time. So, you know, the stakes are not the highest they're ever going to be. In fact, they are the lowest they're ever going to be in terms of an actual official match. I'm sure both of these teams still would much prefer to win. Opening your season with a win is such a big confidence boost. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's not the end of your season if you don't pick this one up.
Yeah. I am interested to see if Hyper stays on the cat. A little bit of a leak. They have done things before. Not this team, but Hyper has done Junkrat cat combos in the past, where they just fly around the Junkrat and be annoying. It looks like they are sticking it, but swaps quickly come out as they see the Sigma, as Nadir will go quickly to that Mei. Just again, zone off Corey, try to put in that damage as Met. Looking for early engages. Corey does fall low, and again, that's just what we were talking about. The wall comes through, they burn Corey immediately. A nice sleep as well, forces the crowd freeze from Knave, and they should just be able to kill them. And no, they stay alive.
Getting infinity peel, this is crazy. Also, Trevin is on Widowmaker, can we discuss this?
Yeah. Looking for some more picks. The crowd freeze now used again.
Ambitious pick, Widowmaker. I mean, a very boomer bust character. Either you're hitting your headshots and you're lobby admin, or you're not, and you're not a character.
How did Knave live both times using cryostasis there? Well, it does come through the swap over onto the Ramatra from Corey, and now Knave just walls again in the middle of point, and Trevin is gonna die because they dropped the low ground. Nutier's actually the first Mei to die. Norton and Booney are both traded up with no DPS line for the side of the Grizzlies now. Hyper does kill Knave. Finally, respectfully, as now Met going in, we'll find Rulupinus. It's just Corey left alive on this point, trying to live for as long as they can. The nade, though, from EJ will clean it up, and Knave has ult now, from almost just healing.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. I mean, Knave's also done like 1,400.
No, I know they've done a lot. They've done a lot of damage, but
yeah. But I will say, you know, at first when you were telling me about the Hyper Junkrat cat taxi strategy, I did think that we were gonna have to send that guy to prison for the rest of his life, but now that I'm seeing the Hyper cat, you know, it's kind of nice.
Well, for what it's worth, when they do that, Hyper is usually the one playing Rat. I think
that's not better. I still think that should deserve a life sentence.
Yeah, we do see.
I think playing Junkrat at all should deserve a life sentence.
We do see really aggressive space being held right now from the side of the Grizzlies. So, you know, you're getting a lot of progress here. EJ has the nano when they can finally see the rest of their team. But Rue has an ult, Knave has an ult. Corey taking a lot of early poke here. Needs to be careful. I have to use the form already as Trevin gets the ult. Looking to find some space here. Will connect on Booney. And the cat ult is big. They pull in Knave, but Rue Lupinus gets the trade out on Hyper. Does pay for it with their life, but they used the break the wall. Okay. Also being used. Trevin still finds another one though. Nadir has the Blizzard if they need it, but we're looking at Ramatra ult and Juno ult here. Nadir
is back in time for Booney, so we've got some DPS on the point.
Yeah, I want to see. Oh
no, Trevin.
Yeah, Trevin read out just a little bit too long as Corey will get frozen up. Really good job. But the shields are there and the heals are there. Corey just lives. Met was just shooting into the Ramatra shield instead of just shooting the Ramatra, which, you know, a little tough with where they were positioned. But Knave does find Nadir, and now Met is demeched. Will be ignored and possibly staggered. And a really good turn here for the side of the Mariachis.
Yeah, I think that orbital ray from Nort Logic was incredibly well timed. You know, was able to get to Corey, trying to just stand in the form frozen, and that extra healing, and also the boosts to the healing coming out from Nort's, you know, gun, able to keep Corey alive on the point there. And Corey still has not used this from Optimal, so it's still a lot of sustain to punch through. It's going to be hard for Trevin to do a lot through that.
Yeah, but they will pop the ult, get a nice hit onto Nave, forcing them out, but Corey's just there peeling hard. Corey falls pretty low, but so is Met, and Met is demech'd. And again, it just looks like some tempos might need to be fixed, but we're still fighting around this point. Ults are still up. As Trevin falls dangerously low, EJ's forced out of the fight, falling low as well. And now Corey smells blood in the water, running forward, does get sleeping nicely from EJ, but the Nemesis form is up. They'll find Trevin, they're still just walking. Nave finding 2 off the back of it. And now Mariachis trying to set up a nice engagement from Met, but won't quite find Nort. In fact, Booney will get a nice stagger onto Nuttier. And again, Mariachis are now showing that they are in control around the second point.
And near the end of the second point, it gets a lot harder for Nuttier on that offensive Mei to cut Corey off. Corey just doesn't have a lot of pressure on him to step up heavily into this comp. He can control his own space, and that means it's difficult for Nuttier to find good, effective walls, especially considering if you try to wall off the backline, Nortlogic's just going to jump over it.
Yeah, Big Nano comes through here from Met, or from EJ onto Met, as they will find Nave. They're trying to find Rue, but Rue's staying nice and healthy. They have the shot. It won't get eaten. It connects. Will they get a trade? The bomb is forced from Met. Will stay alive as Nuttier falling dangerously low. Trevin falling dangerously low as well. As Rue will clean up that kill.
EJ?
The Blizzard comes out. It will freeze Corey, but there's no one who can follow it up. The ult response from Booney, but Nort will fall. Met just trying to live as Booney hunting them down. Still has this OC up, trying to do this damage. Met trying to live.
So much danger. Booty in more danger.
Oh my
gosh.
There
aren't supports here for the Mariachis. They are playing extremely aggressive for this trade onto Met late.
A good wall.
As Trevin moves over to the Genji, and Corey now in a lot of danger.
That Corey falls very low as Hyper goes in, pulls Booty into the back line. But Booty! Hyper said, "Here, EJ, hold this."
No, Booty's Thanos. Booty's just Thanos. Like, I don't know. You have to be so fucking tough to pull that one off. He's actually just that guy.
And now it's last fight territory, and you're down your 2 supports.
A little bit awkward with the positioning here for the defense, though. They've been forced to play this back left side instead of the usual right side, so not good kiting angles, but the orbital ray is going to be hard to brawl through.
Yeah, orbital ray will come out.
Nuttier in a lot of danger here. So close to this Blizzard.
Yeah, they need to live. The Blizzard comes out. The bomb in response. Finds Booney somehow. But it's just the Genji and the D.Va. They both got off. Please don't C9. Corey with a nice perk kills Trevin off the back of that. And it's just Met alive on this point. Win con is set for both of these teams.
And Corey on this tank role has continued to be really impressive. I was expecting to see a lot more Nave DPS out of the Mariachis. You know, that's really the role Nave is known for, and Corey is a guy known for having pretty good flexibility across multiple different roles. So I was expecting to see, you know, Corey's flexibility taken advantage of a lot more, but it's been Nave flexing over to this DPS for the majority of this match and being very impressive on the Mei, very impressive on the Soldier 76, showing us some 2 very different looks, both very high level, and Corey has been impressing me, at least, consistently throughout this series. He's been putting on a show.
That's why he's the GOAT. I said it last season. Corey is the LeBron of Aurora. Huh?
How many chips does this guy have?
This guy has 4 rings and has been to grand finals like 8 times.
Oh my god.
So, okay, maybe less than 8, but he's been through them a lot.
Nah, I mean, Corey's just 2 Thanos, and I mean, Booney is, of course, also being tough as hell. I still can't believe that Booney got ulted by the Jetpack Cat, brought to the other team's backline, and then kills the Ana before getting traded. Like, that's just not supposed to be how that works.
Just, hey, gotta shout out my other GOAT, Nort. Only 2 deaths, done 3,000 damage with 5,000 healing. Again, I said it at the start. I like the Nort and Corey off rolls. I think they're really value. But again, we'll see what happens, because Grizzlies now on defense, I think favors their comp, you know, with how they've been trying to play.
This Grizzlies comp is going to be really obnoxious. They have so much poke, and this D.Va is going to have the ability to mark angles so effectively with this hard pocket from the Ana. Like, how do you ever clear out this Junkrat? How do you stop Wu Yang and Sojin from just shooting their guns at you? How do you stop D.Va from being everywhere when she's getting hard-pocketed by Ana? It's gonna be really difficult to displace any of these individual pieces. And they should be able to complement each other really well as long as the rotations get scouted from the Mariachis.
Yeah, Booney does fall pretty low, but Nord's there to, or excuse me, Rue and Nord are both there to keep them nice and healthy, as Met is trying so hard to dislodge the soldier and Alari, but Rue is doing so much just to keep their teammates alive that Nave is just full HP, and in fact, Met is the one who has to back off here. So now point control looking in favor as Nave gets caught out. A nice engage here from Met. Now the numbers are finally favoring the Grizzlies as Corey forced a Nemesis form, try to survive all this poke. Nuttier coming dangerously close to this tire as well, and I'm gonna say it, I think I want to see the May from Nave.
Yeah, the May here now. Oh goodness, Nave! What a good shot onto Trevin. But EJ already has this nano boost. This is a position where you could stabilize. You could get huge kills from Met on the D.Va.
Yeah, and the nade as well from EJ, then connected on Booney, getting another one. EJ might get traded here, but what a sleep! Rue Lupinus will fall, and now Nave is just the last one alive. Falling down, having to re-stagger him. Never mind, they'll just kill him. But EJ does get traded.
Yeah, really good trade by Nave there. Impressive tracking aim showing up again from him.
Where's Corey?
Is Corey about to spawn camp EJ?
I think so.
Oh my god, Corey's gonna spawn camp EJ.
Oh,
he did it! Oh my goodness! Okay,
oh my god! And now Hyper gets killed.
Oh my god!
What is this?
Every award right now.
What is this? Both supports are now dead. Forces the D.Va bomb, and they're just dead. And the tire will connect. They just Nemesis for Corey is a menace.
Give Corey everything he wants. Give this man. I want him to be the president of America. I can't believe what I just watched.
This
what on earth, dude?
You pull out
no.
3 ults.
Okay. Someone at Panini right now.
You pull out
to know about this.
3 ults and get 2 kills, diving the backline as a Ramatra off a spawn camp. And now Met just falls to half HP again. This card's still pushing forward. I am looking at Trevin here on a nice. Never mind. I am looking at EJ trying to keep Met alive here as much as they can, but they're falling dangerously low as Booney's still just walking forward, has so much space to work with. And
I thought for a second Nuttier was about to go for a cheeky little flank, and it looks like he is going to go for it now. So this is going to be a really annoying angle. There's no real way to clear this Junkrat out from behind you. He's just going to be able to free shoot, which could cause some problems here for the Mariachis.
Well, the way to avoid it is just don't contest the cart. And now Nuttier isn't able to shoot anyone because the cart isn't there. I mean, they find Rue. Hyper is traded. Now Nuttier does have to drop from the spot. Booney does find EJ as well. So no supports on the side of the Grizzlies as this fight continues. Corey has another Nemesis form, and Nort just pocketing them. Met does get demet as well. As Nuttier trying to go in, trying to find some picks or stabilize as Nort falling dangerously low. But again, all the momentum is in the favor of the Mariachis. It's going to be so hard to walk and contest. The ultimate comes out from Rue, connects on EJ. EJ will...
It's going to be huge. The D.Va's still not back. Good pulse bomb from Trevin, but Trevin's just got to kill 4. It's the only way.
Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, an
incredibly impressive performance from the Mariachis here.
The Mariachis.
The ult rotations just got so messed up, unfortunately, for the Grizzlies off of a great flank play from Corey started it, and then, unfortunately, the Bubble Jacks came out from Hyper, got killed in the cast animation for that Wu Yang ult, which was the only real chance at a stabilize. So, just great. Like, oh my god. I don't even think we need to discuss who the MVP is, right?
It's Corey.
We both know.
Yeah, it's Corey.
Like, it's just Corey. Like, that was crazy.
I'm whispering them to join Prod VC. I think they have the roles, so they can just join. But
Yeah.
Corey.
Hello, Flambo.
I think you know why you're here.
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
Corey, I want to ask the first question here, if that's all right.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Corey, when you violated the Geneva Conventions on my monitor by spawn camping poor EJ, what was going through your mind? Did you think that you're an evil person, or are you just so numb to causing pain upon others that you were just okay with it?
If I'm looking at Test as being my captain last season, I kind of always try to look for the optimal play. And I didn't hear anyone coming for me, so I just said I'll spawn camp Yana. I didn't think he wouldn't look at me. But it worked out, and then me and Booney hit the pincer maneuver on the rest of the back line. So
Yeah,
that was pretty evil, though. I'm not gonna lie.
positively diabolical.
yeah, I mean, just you had a dominant showing today. Specifically on the take roll, I think your DPS was all right. I think map one. I think I always glaze you regardless of what you're playing. But you guys definitely looked very comfortable with you on the tank. Do you think that's part of just are you able to play? I know you're a big talker. I know Booney's a big talker, right? When you're playing tank, are you just able to kind of direct, I guess, traffic a little bit easier? Do you think that's part of it, or is it just you guys are finding your better rhythm with that comp, or what's kind of the thought processes of running the comp you guys ended up swapping to?
Yeah, I think you put it best. You're able to direct better. I think every person that plays tank has like a little bit of a different play style. So
Mm-hmm.
just being able to kind of adjust how it's needed and then communicate as well. And I don't think there's a single person on our team that doesn't talk like a
Yeah.
lot and give good comms.
Yeah.
Surprised everyone's got some good comms.
Yeah, that is one of the things that makes me pretty high on your team generally. You got a lot of people who are good communicators and real good. You got some people in there as well who are real good for the vibes, keeping that energy and mental up even after maybe losing the first map after 299.99 points.
Yeah. So basically, like with me on tank, I was able to kind of tailor it to the map. Like on circuit, I was pretty aggressive. Atlas, I was kind of playing to support my DPS line as much as I could. I bubbled Booney and Reaper, and then Knave when I could, when he was like visoring and stuff. And then last map was more of a cause chaos type of thing. I'm not gonna lie, I sat there for like 5 seconds after I died on Sigma, and I was like, "Where did they move Zarya again?" And then I realized she was banned. So I just went to the Ramatra character. But yeah, that worked out. It's just kind of frustrating playing Sigma into May. So
Yeah, yeah. It was maybe a good swap, but
yeah,
you guys definitely, you can definitely tell with your team. There's a lot of pre-existing. You and Booney have been on so many teams together now, right? And have obviously known each other for even longer, right? So I think we definitely saw a lot of that. You definitely made the Grizzlies. I did. Again, I'm not trying to kick them while they're down, right? But when any team opts to ban first and there's still an escort and hybrid map available, it usually means it's a trauma ban coming out, right? And we'd said it on the cast. We kind of figured that the Zarya was going to come out, become banned, right? You're taking so much space. You and Booney were keeping up that communication, going in at the same time, being so disruptive, playing the tempo so well. And, I think just as a whole, your team looked much more comfortable, which, is, sorry, I've been talking a lot, but you kind of get what I'm saying, right? Like, and I think it's really important to see on, especially week one, right? So, um, I guess my next question is there anyone, from today, like, you think, well, okay, I'm not doing El Clasico here, but I think, like, besides
Yeah.
El Clasico, because that might be a different person. Do you think there's anyone today that you think really stepped up, maybe in a spot that they were less comfortable on, to really help enable your teamwork here today? And if it's El Clasico, then just say it'll be your El Clasico answer, and then we can ask that later.
Um, yeah, so I'll give a different answer for this one. So I want to shout out Booney specifically. I know he's been playing a lot of DPS heroes that he has not played before. Like our last scrim, he played Vendetta.
Mhm.
On this one, he played Sojourn, and he's been playing like Venture and stuff. And I just want to hype him up a little bit. He's doing well. He might not think so, but I know he is. And we saw that, like, especially if you help your, I don't know, Flambo, you know about that. Like, if you help your people up,
Oh
give
yeah,
them some more resources, they're able to kind of blossom into, no pun intended, into what their kind of like real potential can be. And we kind of saw that in Atlas.
yeah.
Um, and so yeah, just a shout out to him for being willing to pick up more heroes and um, know that he has more impact than he maybe thinks. Especially like, I know it's like funny, but like breaking shield is very viable. I mean,
Yeah.
on circuit, the
Oh yeah.
Junkrat pick from the Grizzlies was like putting in a ton of work. It's not something you think would, but I mean, they got like two with their tire every time too. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, were you guys surprised by some of the picks that the Grizzlies came out on?
yes and no, like not surprised because like I know that's just kind of the Grizzly players' hero pools. Like I
Mm-hmm.
know Nadir likes Junkrat and Lifeweaver, and like um, Hyper sometimes like brings out different, maybe not necessarily like most conventional heroes, but it still surprised us. Like the amount of success they were having. Like obviously we lost first map, and second map was really close, honestly. Um, despite them having like a weirder comp.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was expected but unexpected. I guess it was expected that they might play that, but unexpected that they do so well. Just because of obviously it's not going to be as good as the meta comp or whatever. But
Well, yeah, that's right. Greg, do you have any other questions? Otherwise, I have one more before we
No,
take it to
I
El
think we
Clasico.
can just go in.
Okay, I have one more besides El Clasico, and that is obviously this is week one, and week one is, obviously well known to be the true decider for the entire rest of the
of
season,
course,
right?
Oh,
But based on your performance today, how are you guys? How are you feeling looking into next week? You will be playing the Little Rock Luke. I don't know how to say it, but you'll be playing the team that I think a lot of people have been really high on, both pre-season and even after their first match. So, are you guys feeling confident going into the next one, or are you just kind of taking it a week to week, or what are some thoughts you might have there?
yeah, I think it's going to be a good matchup. Um, I would say take it week to week, but it's back to back days, so it's not really like much of a
Oh,
separator. We're playing them tomorrow, so I
well,
think.
there you go.
Um,
oh yeah. A
but
lot of teams did that.
yeah, it's definitely going to be a challenge because they have kind of a really dangerous, scary like construction of
Mhm.
their roster. So uh, I think it's a little bit similar to like Met is also a very high SR DPS.
Mhm.
Shout out to his tracer that was looking really scary. But yeah, I mean it's gonna be a challenge. I think we're confident. Like you said, we definitely looked, if anything, like more comfortable on the second comp we played, the Me Tank. So maybe looking to roll that out tomorrow night.
Well, there you go. Um, all great answers. Of course, you know the next question coming out. It is El Clasico. We say it to every person MVP we interview here at Aurora Esports. If you could not be the MVP today, who on your team do you think deserves it and why?
It's a great great unexpected question. I'm gonna go with Rue.
Mhm.
Very, very good comms. There's almost like it's hard to describe. Like there's a lot of talking, but there's like no fluff.
Mhm.
Everything's useful, and they have very good calls for when to use ults, especially with thinking about their own ult on like Ilari and like how that meshes with their like Juno or whatever the other support may be.
Mhm.
So just having a very good game knowledge while also keeping up the positivity and call outs like fight to fight, keeping the planning consistent. So yeah, I wanted to give a shout out to Rue for that.
Yeah. Really consistently impressive value on those ERE ults throughout the series as well. I was very impressed
Oh
with
yeah,
that.
it's like a might have to we'll see as the season goes on, but might have to get like a kind of like a name for that. Seems like they always get a couple with it. So
I don't even know what the Alario is called. So.
I think it's called Captive Sun.
The
Yeah, it's Captive Sun. It's called
captive we'll find something. The rude Sunopulus something. We'll workshop it. We'll
There's
find
something.
something. There's something there. There's something there.
We've got 10 more weeks to figure it out. So.
or more, even.
Or more. Yeah.
If you guys keep playing like how you played today, I'm thinking there could be
hopefully
more. But with that said, everybody, thank you for being here. I've been FlamboJambo on Prod and Cast, joined by, again, the incredible Greg. Everyone say thank you, Greg, both in Twitch chat and in Overwatch general. It's been a pleasure to be here tonight, give you guys some of this week 1 action. And, everyone drink some water, be safe, stay healthy, and have a good night. Goodbye.
Yeah, have a nice night, everybody.